Hello darlings, for today's video I'll be creating a spring inspired look for Easter. First I'm starting off by priming with the Touch and Soul No Poreblem Primer. I like to apply water and oil type primers before anything else because they not only help to smooth and hydrate my skin, preparing it for my face products, but they also make it easier to apply brow products by acting as a base for the product to stick to, which makes them last longer as well. I'm filling in my brows with the Mellow Cosmetics Brow Definer in the shade Chocolate, which has a similar shape to the ABH Brow Definer, but is much more affordable. Now to clean up the edges of my brows, I'm using the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in Vanilla for the top, and then I'm using the Plouise base in 0.5 for the bottom. I'm using two different products to do this because I find the Plouise base to be thicker and altogether a different consistency than concealer, and don't want to apply it to my skin. But I do use it as an eyelid primer, so that's why I use it to carve out the lower edge of my brow, and then I tap it onto my eyelid space using a dense brush to create a clean canvas for my eyeshadows. The eyeshadow palette I'm using today is the Morphe James Charles palette, and I'm first picking up the shade called Rusted, which is described as a matte chili orange, and applying this to my crease and outer V. Since I'm looking for a really good color payoff, I'm mostly stamping this on and not focusing on blending too much. Next I'm applying the matte neon orange shade called 518 on the outer half of the eye, slightly above the shade we just applied, and using it to blend out that darker orange shade. I'm then applying the matte neon pink shade called Skip on the inner half of the eye, slightly above the shade Rusted, and blending it in with the shade 518. I'm now darkening up the crease by applying the shade You're Kidding, which is a true red from the palette, on top of the shade Rusted. Now to really focus on blending, I'm using small circular motions and the big fluffy JH Study Brush to get a really nice diffused look along the edge of all of the eyeshadows. Next, I'm cutting the crease halfway across my eye using the Plouise base and the JH42 brush. This, in my opinion, is the best duo for creating a sharp cut crease. The small flat edge of the JH42 brush makes it incredibly easy to stamp on the base and create the perfect rounded shape. Typically, the shadow will mix in with the base, making it appear less bright, so I just remove it with a Q-tip and then go over it with some more base so that it shows true to color. I'm now placing the white shade called Flashback onto the top part of the area we cut out, and then I'm going to create a smoked liner effect with the eyeshadow shades we used earlier. I'm grabbing the JH40 brush and picking up some of the shade Rusted and applying it along my lash line. I'm then taking the orange shade 518 and applying it right above the shade Rusted, but keeping it in the inner half of the eye and low enough so that the white takes up most of the lid space. Next, I'm taking the pink shade and sweeping this above the shade Rusted on the outer half of the eye, blending it in with the shadow in the outer V. To smoken up the outer V area beneath the crease, I'm applying the matte plum purple shade called Escape using the Morphe M506 brush. This is my first time using this brush, and I must say that it's really useful, and for only $7 you just can't beat it. Now it's time for lashes, so I'm first curling my real lashes with the Kevin Aucoin lash curler, and then popping on some Loreal Lash Paradise mascara and a pair of Glamdrawer lashes in the style 807. I'm also tightlining with the Sigma Longwear eyeliner pencil and then moving on to my face makeup. For foundation, I'm trying out the L'Oreal Infallible Pro Glow Foundation in 201. I know I'm late on trying this popular foundation, but I don't really find myself shopping for drugstore face products. I do find that this one works better for me than the Maybelline Fit Me Dewy and Smooth, but still isn't as nice to me as higher end foundations are. After blending it out with the Real Technique sponge, I'm cream contouring with the NYX Can't Stop Won't Stop Concealer in Warm Caramel. I'm blending that out with the original Beauty Blender, which I find to be the best sponge for blending this concealer, especially when using it to contour. I'm then tapping the Real Technique sponge on top to diffuse everything a bit further. Next, I'm concealing my under eyes and the high points of my face, like my forehead, chin, and bridge of my nose, with the same NYX concealer in the shade Pale. To set my under eyes, I'm using a damp Morphe sponge and the Hourglass Veil Powder, which I'm then using to set the rest of my face with the Morphe JH01 brush. Next up, I'm using the Pixi Glow Cake, which is a 3-in-1 light diffusing palette for bronzer, highlight, and blush. Now to finish off my under eyes, I'm applying the pink shade Skip to the outer half of the lower lash line and the orange shade 518 to the inner half. I'm then popping on some of the bright yellow shade called B to my inner corner, filling in my waterline with the NYX Jumbo Eye Pencil in Milk, and applying mascara to my lower lashes. Finally, for lips, I'm using a combination of the Urban Decay Comfort Matte Lipstick in Heartless and then glossing it up with the limited edition Buxom Pastel Dreams Full-On Lip Plumping Cream in Fuzzy Navel. And that completes this look. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you enjoyed this video. Please let me know in the comments below what you'd like to see from me next. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. See you next time!